I did a thing! And yes, I taped the license plate up so that you couldn't see it. Sue me. Yeah, this is the first car I've ever had that even had a paper license plate. Feels awfully fancy to have such a new car. The 2021 Chevy Bolt. It's not the premium trim or anything, but it has like all the upgrades except for like the sound system infotainment one. So it's got all the safety features and all that kind of stuff. It's an electric vehicle and it plugs in to the outlet that is finally fixed. You know, I haven't had exterior outlets up until now, so this wouldn't have been possible before then. I have sat on this information for just a teeny bit and driven it quite a bit, and I really do like the car. My heart will always lie with like the 80s Jeeps and like my Suzuki Sidekick and stuff. Aesthetically, that's the type of vehicle for me, but that's just not practical anymore. Yeah, so I actually had really 2 bad car experiences just lately. I have doctor's appointments in a town that's like an hour away, and the first trip I took, the van overheated, genuinely overheated. I mean, I stopped it before coolant was spewing out and boiling over and stuff, but the light came on, the needle was all the way up. Had to sit there in like 120-degree heat and just let it cool down, which was not fun. And then I couldn't run the air conditioner after that. So then the next week I had a follow-up doctor appointment, and I took the Suzuki. And the Suzuki is like stalling. It's stalling out. So if you're running the AC, it will just die. You'll come to a stop and it'll just die. So I was driving it with 2 feet, basically. 1 foot to keep the gas running through the engine, and then 1 foot on the brake to hold the car still. And that was working, but it stopped working, basically. It was starting to die even when it was like 20 miles an hour. Like, I'd go to make a turn on like a city street, and slowing down for the corner, it would die. And then that was like really dangerous because like the car's coasting and I can't get back up to speed and there's traffic behind me and stuff. So, yeah, it was a really scary experience, trying to get that car home when it started doing that. That vehicle is not worth fixing, and the van is worth fixing, but I have tried to fix it over and over and over again. You guys have seen I have replaced pretty much everything in the whole cooling system, everything to do with fans, and at this point I only have one. There's only one out of the 2 fans is working, and I think that means that literally the other fan is genuinely broken. Like, none of the components going up to the fan are the problem. The fan itself is broken, which is quite a bit more of a repair. I mean, it's not the worst repair or anything, but in that van, like, you'd have to pull the whole radiator out and everything to get the fans, and that's expensive. And the whole point of the Suzuki was to try and keep miles off the van, because I want to keep that van forever. I want to have a camper van, and that camper van when I'm 70, you know, to go on trips with and stuff. And I know that sounds probably like unrealistic, but I've already put so much money into that van. It's practically new inside. It has practically everything brand new in the engine, except for the engine itself. And if I'm only taking it for a trip or 2 here and there, you're gonna put like 1,000 miles on it a year, maybe, you know. So I think it's realistic, so long as I keep maintaining it and fix when it's broken and don't stress it by it being my daily driver. So that's why I got the Suzuki, to be my daily driver. It was a junker. I knew it was a junker. I didn't pay very much for it. I did a lot of work on it myself to keep it going all this time, and I still have it. I'm gonna keep it for a while. I have the registration and everything paid for another year. I didn't drop insurance on it yet. So we'll keep it for another year and see how much I actually end up using it. After that, maybe I sell it, maybe I just keep it and non-op it and take it out into the desert for some joyrides every once in a while. Maybe it's a project car and I non-op it at some point. I don't know. Couldn't tell you. I switched to an EV. Is that the right move? I don't know. But it was a really good deal, and I just jumped on it. kind of made an impulse decision, but you know, my homestead year resolution was to kind of not overthink things. So I definitely won't claim to have not overthought this, but compared to normal, I definitely overthought this less. But I plan on having this vehicle for a very long time. But, you know, you always have to break a new car in. So we're gonna go on a trip here, as you probably saw from the title of this video. And I am broke. I'm broke with all the projects that you actually haven't seen yet because they're taking a long time because stuff happened and I don't want to spoil that video. But that stuff happened and it was like really not good, and it's gonna cost extra time and or money, and now I have a new car to pay for and a payment and everything. So we're gonna do this trip on the cheap. I mean, at least as cheap as possible, and what that means is Teddy and I are sleeping in the car, and so I need window covers so that I am at least a little bit, you know, safer and whatnot when I'm sleeping in the car. So it's almost a rite of passage. If you're gonna be my car, you need to have window coverings so that I can sleep in you. These are the window coverings for the Suzuki, and they all actually fit the Chevy except for this one, but I should have offcuts, and I'm just gonna try and glue it because it's such a pain in the ass to get the spray glue on here and glue, yeah, anyways, so I think that one's the only one I need to glue more. This one has a little bit of overhang, but I think it will still fit snug enough to do the job. If not, then I will have plenty of offcuts from these little itty bitty windows. I probably can get both of them in the one, off the one, and have a whole extra one's worth of fabric in addition to the offcuts from everybody else. So yeah. Stealth camping in a Chevy Bolt coming up. Alrighty, I have an actual window cover ordered because that one is barely on there. But I've got the rest of the window covers done. I've got them shiny side out right now, but they're all reversible and can go the other direction so that they're black side out. This is the last window. It's all cut and everything. I'm just waiting for the glue to dry because I had to glue one little piece together, which was not fun. Don't recommend. Right there. But hey, that meant this whole project was free because I was reusing what I already had. Alrighty, the new sunscreen came, and then this is what it looks like when those window covers are set to the black side. So basically, especially at night, it just looks like it's a really dark tint and you can't tell that there's anything in there or anyone in there. And yeah, it just looks like a dark tinted window with no one in it. guys, so the bus just dropped me off. That ride was insane. The road rattles the shit out of you, and so I lost some stuff out of my side pockets. I have to put everything back together. I was wearing pants because down on the water it's colder, but I have switched into my shorts because it is hot. Hot, hot, hot. All right, let's do this. We are stopping for our, I don't even know, 20th break. I'm doing fine, and I'm the one that's out of shape because I've been hurt for 2 months. Teddy's the one that runs probably 5 miles every night, even in the heat of summer, chasing a ball. And he's the one who's stopping every time there's shade going. Good morning. There was actually a lot of people at camp, and I was a little too self-conscious to film with that much of an audience, so I'm just going to talk to you guys now, if that's okay. So Teddy and I took the ferry out to Catalina Island, and if you're curious, dogs have to wear a muzzle on the ferry. Teddy doesn't have a biting problem or anything. From there, we took a bus that actually goes all the way up to the airport, but we got off at the Blackjack Campground stop because that's a shorter hike. And that ended up being the right move because it was way hotter than I think anybody realized it was going to be that day. The trail is actually a road, not a trail, but it has a ton of elevation gain over roughly 2 miles. So that, coupled with the fact that there wasn't really any shade, made it a pretty difficult hike in. We ended up being the first people into camp and just beelined it straight to the water spigot to hose Teddy down, cool myself off, and then we just made camp for the night. So I'd actually reserved that camp spot for 2 nights, but I decided that morning to leave the second day because it was just too hot to do the day hikes that I had planned, which meant I would just be sitting around at camp alone all day, chasing the shade around to stay cool, and that wouldn't have been a lot of fun in my opinion. And that was the point of this trip, was to have fun. This was actually my first backpacking trip ever. I had done like hostel backpacking when I lived in Europe, but I have never done like camping backpacking before. Obviously, I'd stayed in the van and done van camping out in the middle of the forest and the desert and stuff a ton, I didn't actually own a tent until this year, which is crazy because I've been really interested in backpacking for a long time now, but it's just taken that long for me to be able to afford everything since I spend most of my money working on the homestead. So they say you can either get cheap gear that's heavy or light gear that's expensive, but I think I did a pretty good job of getting a happy medium because I mostly bought used and thrifted things, so I was able to get some of the nicer, lighter gear, but at a discount price. I only got a few things that were new and I waited until they were on a really good sale. But this was the very first like real test for most of this equipment, and I found out things like my sleeping pad is just kind of old technology, and I'm gonna look to see if I can't find a good deal on something a little bit better. And I really didn't like that tent. There's nothing wrong with it specifically, but the rainfly doesn't remove, and that's going to be really important for me being in hot areas like I am to be able to control whether or not I can get airflow. So that tent went back, and I actually picked up another tent already, but I haven't taken it out yet. I want to try and get out backpacking quite a bit this fall, so you guys will have to let me know whether you like this content or not, and also if you guys want to see anything more gear related. I know I'm really new to this, but I actually think I've done a really good job with my hygiene / repair / medical kit that I put together. I think it's like super compact, so let me know if you're interested in like a full gear or a get ready with me or any sort of video. Just let me know in the comments below. So even though it was a really hot trip, I still had a really great time, and apologize that I only really got video footage of me packing up camp. I kind of hung out a little late in the day because I wasn't sure whether I wanted to go back a day early or not. So I was just hanging out and having a slow morning while everyone else was getting out as early as they could to go and hike the through trail on the island. The funny thing is you'll see me pouring a drink mix into my water bottle here in a second, and that's because the water here had the strangest taste, and everybody was trying to figure out what that taste was, and I realized it tastes like wasabi or horseradish. And as soon as I said that, everybody agreed. Everybody was like, oh, that's it, that's definitely the taste. So yeah, I'm glad that I brought a lot of different drink packets to make my water all flavored and everything. Obviously the sugar's not great for you, but you know, sugar's the lesser of the two evils compared to dehydration when you're out doing stuff, so. Alright, I've been talking for way too long, so I'm gonna just shut up and let you guys watch me get off the island, get back to the mainland. I finished off this trip by going to my very favorite artist, Bob Moses. They had a concert in San Diego, so that's a little clip by there at the end if you're curious, and if you like their music you should check them out because I think they're awesome and underrated. Alrighty, I'm done talking. Like, subscribe to the channel if you guys want to see more of what I'm doing, either, you know, fun stuff like this or around the homestead. And yeah, I'll stop talking and let you guys get back to the video. Look at that, 15 minutes to spare. Now hopefully they will let me on the bus because I am coming out a whole day early. I have a reservation, but I doubt I have enough cell service to show it to them. My hat looks stupid, there we go. Bye bye Blackjack. Boy, I'm sure glad I got good video yesterday coming up the mountain, because you should be able to see the ocean and all the boats and everything from here. Today it's just fog. I think I'm just a little bit dirty. What do you think? Yeah, I'm glad I got to see one. Well, I got to see a lump of one yesterday. He's a happy boy. Oh, he missed his bed. He missed his bed. Teddy had a little bit of a freak out on the ferry. There was a little kid freaking out, screaming and throwing stuff, and he had a little bit of a panic attack. I'll censor the weenie. He's had it go on a couple times over little kids before. The problem is you can't ever really do anything about it, you know? I mean, the little kid's gonna be, I mean, it's not like the parents aren't trying to shut him up, you know? So...